We're live. Hello. Hello, everybody. I'm Amanda Call. We're going to continue working on this page from I Am the First. This is issue 5, page 8. We have it completely penciled at this point. It took us 2 live sessions, but now it is all penciled. And now we're going to start inking it. So I'm going to start with doing some of these fiddly little background elements that are going to require some drafting tools to make sure that I get them correctly. I've got my nib pen, the Hunt 107. I actually just put a new nib in it, so it should hopefully work well. It might be a little bit sharp and scratchy as we first start off here, because it hasn't quite worn down to that sweet spot yet, but hopefully it won't give me too much of a hard time. I have my ink off to the side here, and we're going to start in with some fun drafting tools. Oop. As I immediately get my pen nib holder all gunky. Good job. Good job, Amanda. Okay. We're going to start by getting some of these. It's probably not going to be too many straight lines. A lot of it's probably going to be the kind of open French curve. Okay, yeah, this is the thing. Sometimes when they're brand new, you can see how the ink is not reaching the end. It's kind of pooling up because there's still some, I didn't clean it thoroughly enough. There's still some oil from the manufacturing stuck on that nib. So I'm going to give that a quick clean to try to get some of that off. I've got some pen cleaner somewhere over here in this chaotic mess that is my desk. Where are you? Is that, no, that's not it. Oh, there it is. Okay. It's just a little further. Okay. I do have some pen cleaner. I'm going to give this a quick little rinse in that. Hey, Spud. Thanks so much for joining me. Basically just going to give it a quick dip and then wipe it off. And that should help get some of that oil off so that my ink will actually flow instead of just beating up inside of the belly of the pen there. Okay. Yeah, see. Now you can see the ink has actually gone all the way down to the tip instead of just beating up right in the middle there. So that should work much better. Hopefully, maybe. Hey, look at that. Yay. This direction goes over top of the other one. May as well start in on some of this grate here. Hope everybody had a good weekend and a good start to their week. We are currently getting a snowstorm here in the Northeast. I guess some areas in the Northeast a little bit south and west of here got walloped pretty good, but it's not too bad here. No, that's supposed to be that's not supposed to be there. That's supposed to be the headrest. Whoops. Just do a bunch of these parallel lines. Very thrilling. What? What? You making noises over there?
Mm-hmm. I said all the awesome, so woo.
So woo. Woo. a very boring step. I'm gonna try to get it done like right away so that I don't have to worry about it anymore. It'll be gone and out of my life. So let's see what else is going on. Not much around here. Waiting for winter to be done with us. It's not quite done with us yet. The mice applications opened up today. I'm going to try to apply for those because they seem to be going through this thing that a lot of these different shows go through, where it's like, we've gotten kind of big and popular, and now our old submission guidelines and protocols do not work anymore, and we need to adapt. I think last year their like applications were open for, I don't know, like a couple of hours. By the time I heard about them, they were closed, basically. And it was kind of like, did you even tell anybody? Because I was on their mailing list, but I never got anything. But this time they're going to be open for like a couple of weeks. And then they want you to send them a portfolio link and all of this stuff. And it's like, okay, cool. So are you saying that this is going to be a juried show? Because they're not like explicitly saying anywhere that it's a juried show. But they're like, oh, well, you have to apply and you have to show us your work. Okay. And then you're going to select a certain number of people based on what they show you. That's a juried show. Just tell us it's a juried show. And it's just kind of weird that they're just not saying that, even though that's like pretty clearly what's going to be happening. I don't know. I just find it a little weird. I remember back in the day when I used to go to SPX every year, which the last time I did that was like 2011. So this was a long time ago. But I went every year from like 2008 to 2011, I think. And at the time, the way that their registration worked was that they would, open registrations on January 1st, and then they would just close them once they were full. But mind you, this was like, they didn't have like an online application. You had to mail it in. So my friends and I that I would split a table with, we would always have our applications already ready. And my friend would mail it in on January 1st so that we would get in every year. And I guess they kept on like filling up immediately with the same people who were just like, aha, we at least somewhat have our act together and are able to get an application in at the very beginning of January. And then other people would be mad because they didn't get in because they couldn't manage to get their application mailed out on the very 1st of January, which, like, fair, that's kind of ridiculous to have to do that. And so they were like, okay, well, now we're going to have an online application and we'll just take applications until they close. Except actually, the first year they did it, they had the online application and you could mail them in. And so they accidentally got way more accepted way more people than they actually had space for. And that turned into a whole thing because like it's not that like it's a good sized show, but it's not that big of a show. They have like a couple of hotel ballrooms that they use for it. And so they literally did not physically have enough space that they had they already reserved for this event with the number of people who had reserved a spot. And so they put like half the people in the basement in this like secondary space that the hotel was able to rent to them. And so you had the whole anytime that a convention has like the exact same programming in multiple different places, just forget it. Nobody's going to get half of them are not going to get seen. That's just what happens. With very rare exception. That's generally just what happens is, oh, there's the big room and then there's a little room. No one goes to the little room. Like the people who got put in the little room get screwed. And after that happened, then they were like, okay, from now on, we're doing half juried, half a lottery system. And so half the people get invited to come to SPX, and then the other half of people apply and get entered into a lottery. And yeah, I did the lottery for a couple of years, but I never got in. And obviously I'm not cool enough to have been invited. So I have not been back to SPX since 2011, which is too bad. I really loved that show. I understand that they had to do something because they had just gotten too big and too popular for the system that they had set up. And it just kind of stinks. I would like to go back someday. That'd be fun. Hey, Hungry. Thanks so much for joining me. To come in and listen to my rant about the history of SPX registration. Taking care of some of this kind of boring inking with all of the drafting tools, trying to get these geometric kind of shapes taken care of. Oh, I'm out of frame a little bit. There we go. Love it because I get to see the French curve being used. It takes the mystery out of it. Yes, I will always explain what I'm doing with the French curve because they're very weird esoteric tools. But it is basically just like you just kind of scooch it around until you find part of your curve that lines up with it. And you only ever do as much of it as actually lines up. And try to get segments to overlap if you need to break it up. So since it's a new nib, it's very sharp. So I'm picking up a lot of paper fibers because it's like scratching the paper. So I just have to clean it a little more frequently and get those paper fibers out so that I'm not dragging ink soaked paper fibers all over the place. All right, we're going to come back up here. Okay, oh, there goes my dirty paper towel onto the floor. I will have to get that in a minute. Okay. It is a very intimidating, weird looking tool if you don't know what you're supposed to be doing with it. For a while, I had quite a few of them, and I didn't really know how to use them because nobody ever showed me. It's just one of those things of like, for some of my classes, it was like, get a pack of French curves. I'm like, okay, I have them. Now what? Well, use them. Okay, but how? Oh, we're not going over that. Just make sure you use them. I don't understand what you want from me. That was just very silly. Very silly. I don't know why. I don't know why everybody refused to like actually show us how to use the French curve. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Okay, we're gonna do the little connect these little ba-doop, ba-doop. Fill in my gaps here. There we go. Yay. Okay, his buttons while I'm over here. Being totally serious about them too. I thought there was more to it than just finding the bits that fit your line. Right? I mean, it does seem like there should be more to it. I mean, there's like a certain amount of just getting used to them. I can use them pretty quickly because I'm very used to matching them. And when you're getting used to them, when you haven't used them a lot, it might take a while to find the right bit that matches your line. And like I said, you always make sure that you don't like try not to overshoot. It's better to use the French curve a bunch of times, like reposition and use it a bunch of times and get your curves to overlap so you don't end up with a weird like jaggedy curve. But yeah, basically you just get it to fit your line. That's it. It does really seem like there should be more to it, but there is not. All right, which one of these is going? It's this. No, wait, this one, this way. All right. What else are we going to do while we're over here? What other little bits are we going to do while we're over here? I'm going to do this little seatbelt buckle. Maybe, possibly. Come on. Yay, it's a watch. Okay. Try not to drag that through the wet ink lines that I just made with that watch. That would be a bad idea. Why is that one so far over? Oh, well. Oh, well. That's where it is, I guess. Oh, well. What is happening over here? Oh, it's weird. Okay. I don't know what happened in that corner, but it's fine. It's fine. It's also a brand new pen nib always sounds like extra scratchy. It's like everywhere it goes. Which I'm not sure how much my current mic setup actually picks that up, but it's very loud. All right. Last panel of this terrible grate. This terrible mesh situation back here. Well, for this page anyway. This scene goes on for a couple pages. Having an important conversation in this cruiser. Okay. Let's see. What do we still have back up here? We still need to get the headrest. Well, let's get back into frame, Amanda. What are you doing? Where are you going? Did not mean for that to quite overlap that much, but oh well. I'll have to clean that up later. Felt like I had gotten ink on my hand. I guess it was just a drop of water. There we go. Clean up whatever drop of water wherever is like freaking me out and making me keep thinking that I have ink on my hand when I do not. No ink. I'm fine. Okay, let's try to get some of these. connect with the previous line that I made there. Whoop. There's like a lot of this French curve work that needs to go on this page. And also periodically remember to keep cleaning the edge of your tools so that you don't get ink all built up on there, because it can build up to the point where it's gonna just kind of escape and make a big mess. Or at the very least, it'll just dry on there and get all gunky, which is also not a good time. Look at the steering wheel. Yeah, it's kind of awkward to the point that I'm the first is at right now, where like a lot of the more visually interesting pages are very spoilery. And so it's like, okay, I would like to work on a page for you guys to see, but the only ones that I can really show you without giving anything away are pages like this where characters are just talking. So visually it doesn't look like anything's going on. Because I don't want to like give away what's going to be going on. Oh well. Let's try to get that corner here, and then we'll get the rest of that slightly straighter part later on a different pass. There we go. That works. Work on this patch down here in the corner. What else has been going on? Oh, I don't know if anybody saw I know I posted it on my social media, but I don't know. I don't know how many of my other social medias you follow. My friend Alan Barr recently started a new podcast called Radio Free RPG, where he's interviewing different RPG creators, not as much designers as like other people who work on the process of making RPGs, like artists and editors and just graphic design people, all sorts of people that are involved in making these things happen that maybe aren't as like well recognized as some of the designers. And I was on this first episode, which was pretty cool. So if you look that up, Radio Free RPG, in the very first episode, and we talked about my comic work and we talked about working on RPGs, and it was a good time. Alan's a good guy. And there's 4 episodes out so far. I haven't listened to all of them yet. I did listen to one other one. I'm trying to catch up. But you can find it at all the different podcast places. I've been listening to it on Spotify because that's just what I use like all the time for everything. But I'm pretty sure he has it on like all the podcast platforms. Hello, Brazil SP. I can't read that. What does that say? I don't. Okay. Thanks. Thanks, Luciano. I think that says something nice. Very good is nice. I like that. Thanks. Thank you. Thanks for joining the stream. I think I've got like the center console down there. I think that's what's going on down there. I think that's what that's supposed to be, is the console between the seats. So we're just going to give that a little outline there. These annoying little background bits are actually moving along pretty well. We're making good time on them. Because there's actually not... Oh, there goes my French curve. Hit the floor. Jumped right off my desk. Gonna have to go find it in a second here. Yay. Okay. There's his patch. I gotta retrieve my poor French curve that fell on the floor over here. Ugh. Where did you go? See, except now when I like lean away from my desk, you can still hear me because now my microphone is attached to my face instead of being perched on my desk. see what we can do over here. It's kind of strange. Google Translate says, Amanda, very good, your drawings. Oh, sweet. Thanks, bud. I was going to like Google Translate it later. I appreciate you doing that. Well, thank you very much, Luciano. Appreciate it. Now someone is texting me saying, hey, we should do video chat. I'm streaming, sir. You know I'm streaming. What are you doing? Oh, and now my ear is ringing. You guys. You guys. You know I'm streaming. Stop calling me. What are you doing? Barney. And he's usually like watching. A lot of times he's in the chat here. He's Story Comic. You all have seen him in the chat here before. I don't know. I think he forgot. He's been having a rough week, so I understand. Sometimes life just scrambles your brain. Daylight savings time. I mean, that might have something to do with it. He's having a week for reasons other than daylight savings time, but daylight savings time is enough. I swear the last couple of days I've been like trying to get myself out of bed and to work and the kids out of bed and to school, and it's just like, oh my gosh. I just feel like we're all dragging. Ew, what just happened there? What's going on? I got a gunky line. Gross. Okay, I'm gonna clean off I think I have some gunk on my pen. I'm gonna clean that off real quick. And I'm gonna clean off the edge of my French curve. And hopefully not end up with another gunky line. Okay, let's not have that be a mess this time. Oh, hey, look, much better. Much nicer. No terrible gunk. Ooh, and my power keeps flickering because we're having this snowstorm, which also has a lot of wind. We're having like heavy, wet snow and high winds. So I'm just like, please don't lose power. Please don't lose internet. We'll see what happens. Gonna stay on for the whole time if we can. We'll see how it goes. What was that? There was just some loud thumping noise outside. I'm sure it's fine. Hopefully not a tree falling on the building or anything. Okay, let's get down in this corner over here. Okay, my paper is trying to escape. The French curve is trying to escape. Everything's trying to escape. Okay, I'm gonna hold that there with the clip that's on the edge of my board. I have a little clip here, which is quite handy for when stuff is trying to escape. Okay, and that's going to be filled in. It's a weird looking door handle, but like I looked them up. Apparently, the door handles on the inside of this style of police vehicle just look kind of strange like that. I think they're made to be like heavy duty, I guess. I don't know. I'm just speculating. Okay, that's most of that panel. I'm gonna do a little bit of finishing up some details up there, though. Let's see. What else was there? Was something else I was going to do for here. I don't remember what it was now. I lost it. Lost my train of thought. Oh well. All right. This one, we've got these little doodads over here. Gotta get this bottom part of this seat, the headrest. Oh my gosh, come on. Get some ink on there. What are you doing? Let's see. It's kind of a weird curve in there. Let's see if we can get that to work. I guess that'll work. Okay, we don't have too many of these left. I don't know if I'm going to start in on any of the Probably not going to start in on any of the brush inking just because that's like a whole other thing. So we might just be a little bit on the short end of the time this evening. So we'll just get to the end of the nib inking, which we're pretty close to at this point. So I'm going to start doing some of my YouTube things and remind you that I'm Amanda Call. This is my YouTube channel. I work on comics on here pretty much every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. So if you like watching me work on comics or other artwork and talk about my process, you should subscribe and like the video, all that good stuff. Because like I said, I'm usually live on Tuesdays at 8, but sometimes life happens. Just dropping in to mention that I'm a faker that says he's going to a local game store craft night and then doesn't go. Well, it got canceled last week because of like a snowstorm anyway, so it's fine. That's fine, dear go. These things happen. Right, last week or week before? When was it? Was that the week before last? I'm being ignored. The craft night at the game store that got canceled because of the weather, that wasn't last week, but the week before, right? Yeah. It got canceled. No, it got canceled. They got walloped pretty good down in the Bangor area. We didn't get it too badly up this way, but it still was not like nice to go driving. So you weren't the only one who was going to not be showing up, even if they hadn't canceled it. But anyway, so this comic I've been working on here this evening is I Am the First, which is written by my friend Jeremy Flagg and drawn by me. The first 3 issues are out. Issue 4 is going to be out soon. You can see me here working on issue 5. When issue 5 is done and out, then we're going to release the whole thing as a graphic novel. So that's pretty cool. You can learn more about it at bravenewcomics.com. Dirigo says, if the one before that was -20 that night and I wasn't going out in that, yeah, I don't blame you. I would not either. I would just be like, no. How about no? I also have my webcomic Age of Night, which you can read online for free at ageofnight.com. So you should check that out. Updates every week. I'm just starting a new chapter now over there, chapter 28. So you should definitely hop in. First page of that will be up for the public tomorrow. But my patrons got to see it last week because patrons are always a week ahead. And that's patreon.com/ageofnight. And if you want to follow me on any of the other socials, I'm also on several of them as either Age of Night or Amanda Collard. Let's see. Am I missing anything for nib inking? It looks like that's done. This looks done. If anybody spots anything that looks like I need to still do it, do let me know. Oh, I need to do this line because this is like the steering column. Boop. Just gonna get a little thing in there to remind myself that that's like the headrest behind him. That's all looking good. No, I think we pretty much got it. Sweet. All right. Awesome. So we're done a little bit early this evening just because I'm at a really good stopping point because I have now finished all of the background elements inking. Next week, we're going to pick up with getting all of the figures done with a brush instead of with a pen nib. So tune in next week, Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and we will start doing and see how far we get. We'll probably get most of the way through it. I would venture during that session. So it looks like this page will only be 4 sessions. That's not bad. So thanks everybody for coming and hanging out with me this evening. I will see you next time. Bye.